Turn the match on. Check the odds. Place the bets. You can turn a flutter into a fortune. There is no harm in trying, right?
Tulikuwa tunakelea hiyo time betting ilikuwa so peke yake. Haiko inaenda chini.
100 bob.
100 bob.
Yes.
So at a time ikakamigi, mimi nikakulaga dhao mbao. Dhao mbao nimeshainaje nayo.
But then who is paying the price? For fans across the country, gambling and football has become one and the same. In recent years, betting has turned from a side tune to the main event.
Okay. And in terms of making a living, at some point, yes, utaunda do. But what we say, and most people say, the house always wins. Actually, that phrase is halfway. The house always wins, and a win for a punter is a postponed win for the house. So either way, the house always wins.
Right. To the young people who believe that betting creates jobs, it's a lie. What betting does, it creates false hope that you're going to win some money. And so you think because you're betting you're working, not working. You're actually allowing someone to steal money from your phone knowingly. If betting companies can first admit to everyone that betting is harmful, is dangerous, and betting kills, then we can talk about regulation and how to make it safe for everyone.
Story ya kubet siku hizi hiyo ndio kazi. Hiyo sasa si bet, imekuwa kibarua. Juu sasa tukisema imekuwa gambling tutakuwa tunakosea. Hiyo ndio kazi tunafanya. Juu sasa serikali pia kidogo inatuchenga, inatuambiliaga kazi hakuna.
Gambling in football is not new, but it's changing very fast.
Not only are you betting on the outcome of a match, you could be betting on events that take place during the match. Who's going to get the next corner? Who's going to score the next goal? All of a sudden, betting on football starts to look a lot more like casino or slot machine play because you have these opportunities to bet constantly.
But what actually is the problem here? Do most people get addicted?
Kama mimi, for example, hiyo nilikuwa nimekelea timu 3,700. Nimetoka kazi, nimeenda kuwatch hiyo game ya Spain. Nikaona Iran wamekomboa dakika 75. Niligonjeka. Niligonjeka, nilibidi mpaka hata roho ianze kugonga. Roho inagonga nasema 7,400. Lakini sasa ile niliona referee amesema ni offside. Nikaanza kushikika, lakini sasa nilikuwa nashikilia mara. Nashikilia tu mara hivi mpaka game sasa ile iliisha, ndio nilifurahi. Kwa hivyo ina affect. Huwezi pata, kwanza ukianguka huwezi pata usingizi. Huwezi silalagi, una sweat usiku na kuna baridi.
Betting in itself can be addicting. And in mental illnesses, it's classified under gambling, which is also a behavior disorder. Sometimes when we continuously repeat that betting or gambling, then we find that one gets addicted to that issue. Because you know what happens is that once you're into it, you don't feel like stopping. And say for instance, you get the first win, you will think, or you get that high. You know, it gives you a high because you've already gotten a win, and therefore you take it that you'll always be gaining. You know, you'll be having that winning and gaining all the time. But eventually there comes a time when you start losing, and when you lose in a big way. So the first time, the second time, and it's a loss, and thinking that you're going to make up for that loss, you start chasing that, the losses that you're making. Most people end up being suicidal because of such cases.
Hii kitu si addictive. Fanya kazi vile umezoea kufanya kazi. Saya game ikiwa imebakisha dakika 5, ingia bet, endelea na kazi yako. Mshahara itaingia tu ukifanyaga kazi yako, lakini ukisema ukae tu angalie bet haiwezekani. Juu pia muhindi anataka kukukula. Sisi wote tunatafutana, natafuta pia ananitafuta. Hiyo yote lazima ukubaliana nayo. Wewe sema utakaa chini utegemee kumkula, haiwezekani. Lazima pia akukule, lazima ukubali hivyo. Na ukubali hivyo, hiyo milioni 200 na utaikula. Lazima ukubali atakukula. Na yeye pia anakuwa amekubali umkule. So ni two-way traffic. Bahati yako ikusaidie.
But first, what is gambling?
Gambling is a game of chance. So basically, in gambling, no one knows the outcome. So if anyone knows the outcome, that is not gambling. So as per the definition of gambling, it's a game of chance. Yeah.
And how do people gamble?
He splits the bet, puts stakes on both teams because he wants at least to get something from it. Either way, he's looking at it as a win-win situation for him, and it is a win-win situation because in this part of the world, you don't get 80,000 shillings very easily. It's an equivalent of $800 US. I can picture him watching the game in anticipation mode. At halftime at 0-0, he's losing his money. So I can imagine him not being even able to take a cup of tea or coffee, just anticipating and waiting for the second half to start. And then Mesut Ozil gives him a lifeline with his money. And at that point in time, it appears Germany could just sneak away with this. But then Leonardo Bonucci has other ideas.
And there aren't too many Germany complaints about it.
And his world just comes crumbling down at that point in game, and it's 1-1. Then it's back to basics for him. It's back to square one for him. He has to ensure that one of these team does win. He can't do so much at home. He's done his side of the story. He's put in his bets. All he can do is cheer on either team to win. So between the 78th minute and 90th minute should be the longest time of his life. Because, I mean, he's waiting, he's hoping for another penalty. Whenever there's a corner conceded, he's anticipating, he's on his feet. But it doesn't happen. It all goes wrong in the last 12 minutes of the match, and it's the most regrettable 12 minutes of his life. Paul did miss out on one very important aspect of a football match, which is that the match can settle in a draw. Or probably didn't understand the rules of the game and thought that the penalties will count for a win. They don't count for the win as per the laws of the game.
So juu huyu Muhindi alituletea kazi ile yenye tunaweza fanya. Sisi kazi yetu ni kufanya rehearsal kuhusu hizo matimu. Ujue team vile yo cheza na ujue wako capable ya kuscore. Then una risk 100 yako ama 200 kulingana na mapato yako ya kila siku. Ama unaweza save hiyo do wiki mzima, then una risk na timu moja ama timu kadhaa. Na inalipa by the way.
Ya mwezi mzima na bet na select kwa wiki, select timu kama 3, wiki nyingine timu 3 za wiki kama timu 20 za wiki 3, 21 days na kula naekelea kitu kama 200 ama 300, inapata imenipatia 15,000 ama 20,000 na yapeleka nalipa school fees. Betting ni poa kubet. Juu kama mimi nilikuwa na bet kila siku, niliacha hiyo mambo ya kubet kila siku, nikaingia hii ligi nyingine ya juu kidogo. Kitu unafaa ufanye, una select 2 teams za wiki mzima, zile must win. Unaekelea timu 10, unazipatia 300 ama 100. Usitarajie pesa mingi, kula 3,000 kwa wiki. Uko sawa. Lakini sasa hii siku moja unataka kubet timu 20, unafurahishwa na hiyo sijui 40,000 unaongojea. Hiyo 40,000 unaanza kupiga ati utanunua shopping, utafanya nini? Unasikia katimu kamoja kalikuangusha, unakuwa mgonjwa.
Watu tu wagonjwa ni wagonjwa, uwezi wa change. Mimi sijaigonjeka na napiga kwa serious. Kama saa hii nimemkula 32. Kwa hiyo 32 tayari amerudisha 10. Nimebaki na 22. So kama ni kuangalia pesa saa hii ningefaa nikuwe niko hosi, but tuko na wewe na najua game next na recover na yeye. Hatuachani. Huyu hatuwezi wachana. Pesa Muhindi ako nayo na anapea watu. Na hii ndio ile game real. Huyu Muhindi anataka ukimshika unamrudishia ameze kama anameza. Ama upate ganji. Usimuogope. Akikupea 5,000 unampea zote 4, unabaki na moja ya kumanga. Unajua? So lazima una risk. Usipo risk sasa utatoa wapi ganji?
If you have to bet or put stakes, do it wisely. and within your means. Don't gamble or don't bet on your school fees. You get it? Or money for your family. Let not your family sleep without food because you've used everything. No, that's not the case. Just clear the fastings first. Fastings first. For me, I rarely go beyond 500 shillings. Even now, however much or what I get, I don't go beyond that.
Statistically, Kenyans stacked a record of 88.5 billion Kenyan shillings through online bets in the full year to June 2023, defying a heavy crackdown on the sector and punitive taxes introduced in the period. This means Kenyans placed 242 million Kenyan shillings daily on bets, which sums up to 10.1 million Kenyan shillings hourly, or 168,333 Kenyan shillings every minute, or 2,806 shillings every second, underscoring how gambling has transformed from a pastime to a full-time economic activity. By themselves, punters will be able to fully fund the budgets for manufacturing and industrialization, social protection, governance and justice, sports and culture, recreation and tourism industry, and keep some change. The introduction of the internet and mobile phone in the 1990s created new opportunities for gambling, including the entry of foreign online betting companies. However, the majority of the Kenyan youths are unemployed, resulting to increased growth of betting by the punters.
Over 80% of the population of this country is unemployed, and they're the majority. So you find that if you're unemployed, and then you see a betting advert, you think that if I bet, I'm going to make some money and become rich.
Pesa imetuma tukabadilika. Juu unatafuta pesa au kufi na timu yako, wewe una focus na do. Unajua hapa goal itaingia ama over ama hii timu hiyo inaweza ishika draw, una risk hapo.
Unaona kama saa hii mimi nakaa tu nikibet tu naangalia simu. Ngila nimefunga bao ya 6. Sasa hiyo nimeshashinda hiyo. Sasa naongojea timu kesho, naongojea Portugal na Spain. Mimi nasubiri. Sitaki kutajirika na siku moja.
The issue that we've been having in Kenya is the access to money. You go to other countries like our friends in Uganda, they are more retail because our mobile and internet penetration is very high. Internet huku kwetu iko sawa. You go to those countries, you realize how of a good country we have. In terms of mobile penetration, you will find everyone even in the village have smartphones. Na pia mobile money is big. We are the third largest gaming economy in Africa after Nigeria and South Africa. And we actually have a very lesser population because our friends in Ethiopia have 100 million. We are just 50 million, but we are the third largest. We are actually not the third largest populous nation in Africa. But hizi ndo vitu zimefanya to grow ni mobile money M-Pesa such that even the few coins that you have in bank unaweza zivuruta na ukuje uwekeze nazo.
Kenyan Fin Access Household Survey found the majority of the gamblers had a level of education beyond secondary school, while youth aged 18 to 25 were more likely to bet than persons in any other age group. 1 in 10 Kenyans, or 11.2% of adults, engaged in the activity, seeing betting as a reliable source of income. Kenya already has some of the highest tax rates on betting, with the applicable tax rates seemingly rising every year. Gaming firms are, for instance, required to withhold 20% of the winnings paid out to the punters. The KRA recently connected its system to those of gaming firms and now requires businesses to remit excess duty overnight. PCLB has already retailed KRA to ensure that the companies seeking for renewal of licensing 2023-2024 ensure that they are integrated with the system. After years of taking a piece of the pie, the government now seemingly desires to own the whole cake, having proposed to establish a national lottery which is expected to generate 34.52 billion Kenyan shillings in taxes, including corporation taxes in the first 3 years, with the bulk of the new gambling taxes expected to be channeled to the sports fund. Despite of all the benefits and losses the betting company may cause, Has betting responsibly be well regulated in the country?
To your question, mambo ya responsible gaming, it happens in regulated areas, especially in countries where it's very well regulated. You go to countries like Britain, they set a ceiling based on your behavioral spending.
Your
Let's
behavioral
say,
spending.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So if in a betting site, you spend on the last, let's say 3 months,
Yes.
because the AI needs to run how you spend, and also the time that you spend on the website. So they're able to know wewe ni mtu wa kubet na so at any given point, they shouldn't allow you bet with 1,000. And also, the website should be able to log you out if you spend more time on the website.
Okay.
So there are countries where it's very well regulated,
Okay.
and you'll find punters gaming responsibly. Hapa Kenya, if you have a lot of money, the only thing itakulimit ni 500,000 limit yenye M-Pesa inaweza send out. So hiyo ndo sasa itakubidi ugoje.
Yeah.
And then you find in these betting sites, most of them I think yenye unaweza toa do mingi at a given point ni 140,000. So vitu zina kucontrol ni hizo Kenya.
Yeah.
But anything else no.
Kevin Gashie, a consultant psychologist, says almost all the punters undergo several phases in their betting history.
The first phase is called the winning phase. So in this winning phase, the person is gambling for that fun and excitement, and they are winning here or there, and things like that, right?
Tulikuwa tunaekeleaga hiyo time betting ilikuwaga so peke yake, haiko inaenda chini
100 bob.
100 bob.
Yes.
So at a time ikakaa migi, mimi nikakulaga dhaumbao. Dhaumbao nimeshainaje nayo.
After the winning phase, now you have the losing phase. Now in this losing phase, the losses have accumulated. You're losing more than you're winning, right?
Day fulani bana mama 31st ilikuwa 31st fulani, sitataja ni gani, lakini mama akanichapia ni aje juu leo ni 31st, si ununue pizza tunini. Nikamshow niko sawa. So nilikuwa na 7,000, sitaisahau hiyo usiku. So sizi yake hata alikuwa anafaa kukam. Mimi nikasema kabla huo mtu wa pizza afike, siwache nijaribu nini ifike hata tena. Unajua mimi nilishow mama, nilisweat wadai juu saa 7 ilienda.
And you find, because I've been on the other side of betting, you can have deposits of 1 million shillings, but turnovers of 10 million shillings. So what happens is, these guys keep reinvesting. What came in as deposit is 1 million shillings. But if you count the number of bets and the value of those bets, cumulatively, there will be more than 10. Because this guy wins his first bet, hatoi, anarudisha tena. So at the end of the day, utapata amekojoa. That is what we say in gaming. Mtu akiruhusu unasema umekojoa. Yes. So at the end of the day, you'll still lose.
After this phase, after the losing phase, now we have the desperation phase.
I would never have cash with me. Any money, whether it's in the bank, whether it's in my mobile phone, it had to go to betting first. It was like I had to sanitize it. And the moment it went to the betting platforms, I would lose it.
After the desperation phase, now you have the last phase, which is the hopelessness phase. A lot is crumbling down, and they're in almost crippling debt at that point, right? And that at that point is where the suicidal thoughts and the suicidal attempts start to manifest, right? Because a lot looks like it's crumbling, and for a lot of people, they feel like there's no other way to get out of that situation.
Company I worked for, and we had a case of a guy who won 24 million, and he won that thing called, progressively. So ameanza na kama 10k imegrow up to 24 million. Then venye ameshinda hiyo do anataka andikiwe check. As per the regulation, anafaa kutoa 140. So you can imagine he needs like 5 months ku withdraw hiyo do yote. So we talk to him, we tell him, tunaweza lock hii account, usicheze. You can only be withdrawing. We advised him tunaweza fanya hivyo. Yeye anasema hapana, msifunge account. Mimi bado nataka kuendelea kubet. 3 days later he had nothing. So before someone feels like they've lost a lot, pia wameweka hiyo do mingi. And what happens is, ile time ameanza kuruse, anaanza kukimbisha bet. Ameka 10k, imeenda. So sasa hataki ati kuwin hataki 50k, and akaweke 5 na
Arudishe
odds za
10.
4 awin 20 ama 25
Ndio arudishe yake.
ndio arudishe hii 10 yake. Pia hiyo inaenda ni kama shetani hiyo siku anakuwa amejua. So what will happen ni atakip akichase na juu sasa akichase more utapata ameingia kwa hizi tu microfinance, ameboro na of course ziko kwa simu na ni hiyo time huwezi fikiria. So that given time you'll borrow and then ruga inakuanga fiti hiyo time. So pia kama kuna mtu wa familia unajuanga ama best yako na tudo, kuitisha hiyo do inakuwa rahisi sana. Uta create tu kiscenario na do ifike. Ikifika tena unarudisha tu, naenda hewani, inakataa kurudi na wenzake.
And is it notable when one is addicted in betting?
It's easier to conceal than other addictions. For example, with an alcohol addiction, you can, there are noticeable signs. There are those telltale signs. Maybe you can smell the alcohol on the person, or you can see the person is intoxicated frequently or more often than not, yeah? But with gambling addiction, they are not those noticeable telltale signs to that extent.
If you've lost that fun in the game, yours is just the money that you see, stop it. Because once it's the money, then it changes the whole game altogether. You've become a patient, you'll suffer anxiety, you will suffer insomnia. So it is something that is compulsive. And once it turns to that, then you know for sure you've become addicted, and addiction is a disease as we see it.
And how can one get themselves out of the addiction?
Convincing people to stop betting, it's hard because you are seeing people winning. The adverts are promising you that you're going to win. When you listen to radio, you are hearing people calling in saying that, or being called that they have won, and we all believe we are going to win. And now convincing people that this can lead into depression, it can lead to stress, it can lead to mental health issues, it's not easy. And unless we start having this conversation, this is going to become a big problem. So many people have committed suicide in the country. So many people have lost their jobs. So many people have lost their businesses. And until we start now talking about it, like we have talked about alcoholism, like we have talked about other issues, other forms of addictions, it's going to become a big problem.
They always say the house always wins, but then how does it feel when the Panther wins?
I got 208 million. Actually, not 28 alone. It's 208, 765.
When they play, you win.
Gordon Paul Ogada was today unveiled as SportPesa's biggest ever winner after scooping 230 million shillings in the mega jackpot.
SportPesa, made of winners.
It is every Kenyan's dream to win the SportPesa mega jackpot. Meet 36-year-old Cosmas Korir. Not only did he dream about it, he played and made it happen.
Hey, Cosmas. Vipi bana? Uko wapi? West Pokot. Unafanya nini West Pokot?
No, I'm driving. After Kitala, I do the car charger and continue towards West Pokot. Sasa midway, I'm heading towards Kapenguria now. Yes. So midway in this story comes, and I almost caused an accident because, hata gari haishikiki vizuri, so I decided first to back and then.
I think mtu alikuwa amepigia before. Yeah, 208 million 733 619 shillings.
I sat on grass. Hata wenye wako hapo were wondering, is it really true? Is it true? I told them, I think it is true. I got 208 million. Actually, not 208 alone. It's 208, 765,000 shillings. Yeah. That night, even food tasted, very salty. I didn't eat anything. Sleeping in my room was one big hell. I didn't sleep, not even a minute. You can't believe it is you. So I gave them my account for them to put 208 million. So after I confirmed the money is there, I said now, first things first. I have to get a good vehicle. So I went to purchase a V8. After jackpot money, this is the first item I bought. I got it at 12 million. Still serves me well.
Cash money.
Yeah, cash money. It has no loan, it has nothing. 12 million, my friend. Yeah, but when you are giving out, you don't feel so bad because there is enough that can be able. But I was always worried, what am I going to do with this money? It's like that it should never reach a point where I'm going to be down again.
This is the house you grew up.
This is the house I was telling you, a 2-room house.
Yes.
Yeah, this one. Right now, Saiza Satuni is store. I lived here for more than 10 years. Unaona this place kutoka hapa mpaka hapa. Unaweka nyumba hapa yote hapa hivi mpaka hapa mwisho. Yote.
Gototapatos yak kita ini.
Ma jito ni tilo mga jumian mano ba mar.
Suti nyagi ke kita na tapatos ente ada en gotomi.
Gototapatos ne ni burak sa gumya. You see now the contractor there is I've given him work and he's doing it for me. It is benefiting the whole place. This house was not complete and I wanted to complete it. So 2 million I had wired. I met a friend of mine called Joseph. He told me I have flats. I'm selling one of the flats in Kitengela. And I settled for that. And it costed me around 50 million. From the following month, I started earning. I was earning like 400 from that house alone. Then I decided this looks like it is nice. If I can just another one, this will be nice. So I went for another flat for 62 million. This one now had even bigger space. It had 1 bedrooms, 25 of them, and the others were bedsitters. Total of 96 rooms. Kitengela is great, let me tell you. So the other one gives 400, the other one gives around 500, 600, because it is a new building, so people are still entering time. So an average of 900 a month. It's not bad. I also bought some machines. I bought an excavator and I bought 2 lorries. Oh, Baba. Elio. Emia Baba. You got to me single. You are moon any. Bye bye. I'm name. Eh, abai. Kajama to me Baba. This no. As. To. Go with me. Na barji bi chue me te. Kan ne ko makasi bonyi ne. If I was just staying home here, you would expect everybody to come and see you and tell you, give me this. You cannot finish all the issues that people have. So I had to be away somehow so that I can be able to kind of guard myself so that we can meet over the weekend. I come over the weekend, I look at my enterprises. But still my job, I kept it up to now. Right at that time, I wanted to go down because the calls were just so much. It to the point where I had to kind of switch off because there were so many requests, so many friends all of a sudden. See, dealing with that is not easy. It's something that is, how do you put it? Something that came when you weren't expecting. So I decided, I fixed the money for some time. I fixed for 6 months. I told them I'm not going to touch this money for this time. So after coming, I decided to relocate from Bomet. And I had my friends that we were with at that time. And they wanted the top, the one that I told you, the top. Now we went to Karen after purchasing the vehicle. We went to Karen and another problem again. Why are you giving these people money? So I told them these are my friends. And we were with when we were betting and I agreed. Yeah, Eldoret is the central town, more or less like a city, though it is not a city. But I think it will be one time the city of champions. We had a friend who was giving out a hotel on lease basis, not buying. So this is the Nyayo. Former president used to sleep here. So his bedroom. I found it when it was painted red. Everything? Everything was red in this place. It was a Nyayo house. So here is the bathroom. I got this place in 2019. It was one of the side hustles for my wife. My wife doesn't ask me anything, no. She does everything in her place, fuels her own vehicle. She runs entirely like another department. But I decided to buy my own, so I got myself a 2-acre land now to put my hotel, although I have not done it in Eldoret. Wapi fundi? Mami there? Oh. I'm building a mansion. Is it a mansion? Yeah, I think it's a mansion. So it's a residential building, eh? Yes, brother. I have some plot somewhere. You want to see everything? Welcome to the farm. Here's the land I'm still paying for. It's 15 acres. So welcome to the farm. It's now planting season, though mine I did. Bomet County, I have 2 plots again. Good enough, my dad is there today.
Oh, okay.
Come also. So I'm building in my house at home. So he had come for the tiles. Then where we live, I bought the apartment. Bought at 6.6 million. If it were not for jackpot, I wouldn't be here. Maybe I would still be in Bomet. This is my wife's. So I have a wife called Joyce, and I have 3 kids. Well, my family, they've gone through a lot with me. Every time they have to be around. It's a bit stressful for especially kids. They want to play around. Sometimes they want to see me full time, but they can't because I'm a busy man. If I'm not in Lorette looking at my other businesses, maybe I'm in Bomet, maybe I have a contract somewhere else. But I make time, at least every week. I have to be there for a day to see them. So maybe that's the bad side about this, because I've become so busy. If I'm not in Nairobi, maybe I've traveled to look at a project somewhere. Yeah, that is the only downside here.
Samuel Opati, drugs of passion in sports betting.